baby. Love has truly walked through the door. My kind of love has walked through the door today. You're listening and watching the Yeah Come On Show. The Yeah Come On Show, special thanks to the greatest band ever outside of Journey, and that would be Love Walked Through the Door. And do you know the band? Do you know that it's Thunder? I ask any of you. Do
No,
you?
I did not.
Okay, well, I'm here to tell you that was Thunder. I need you to load that up on your iPad, pod, whatever you're listening to out there in Hickory, and I need you to jam to that.
I love it. What is that their biggest hit? Love Walked Through the Door?
It's one of their biggest hits. I actually, you know that I think Journey is the greatest rock and roll band,
Yeah,
John.
well, you wouldn't be wrong.
No, I wouldn't. And then this is just a hell of a song. I played it for my wife. I played it at our wedding. I played it after I asked her to marry me. And damn if I'm not going to start my show with it. So special thanks to Thunder. Again, the Yeah Come On Show brought to you by OxygenFinancial.com, Circle285.com, and Ridgeline Counseling. Dr. David Markwell is willing to talk to you if you need to talk to him, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, come on. He'll even talk to you by phone if you're going through something out there, John.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm good for now, but you never know. I could probably use something if I don't get back on the road pretty soon. I might go crazy.
Well, there you go. Well, he's the guy you talk to if you think you're going crazy. My co-host, Mr. Brett Barney. Yeah, come on. The on-again, off-again, Tyler Maynard, our associate producer and dropper. He drops sound on us every once in a while. And he has his, just like that. Just like that.
Call for it, I bring it.
You bring it. You bring it. And our special guest today, Jon Reep, my brother. John, for those of you that didn't know it, what the hell? Can y'all still see me? Because I can't see you.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, it's weird. Hold on.
We can see you.
God dang, I got to join the meeting again. It popped up there. You God, I lost you. Hold on.
You're still here.
Yeah, how are you joining, but we can hear you? That's fine.
It's weird because I'm having to – hold on. I'm in guitar lab right now. I'm canceling out of that. I'll be right with you guys. It's going to take a damn second.
What is guitar lab?
Man, you were on fire, too.
I was, dude, and I just screwed it all up, bro. Let me see.
Please leave all of this in here. Please leave all of this in here because we can see you just panicking trying to fix this.
I am trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it.
Not at all.
Hey, Barn, I'm rolling on my end, so we.
Oh, come on, man! Really, guys? Is it gonna be like this?
Okay.
Oh, there y'all are.
Just
Okay, I feel good now.
All right.
got a mini panic attack there.
No, man, I swear these things happen. Damn it! It could be the cocktail.
In technology, are not the best friends.
No, I just want. I want to introduce a proud American, a stand-up comedian, an actor, a good old boy / redneck, my kind of guy. He won the fifth season of Last Comic Standing on NBC. He won it all. Hails from Hickory, North Carolina. And he is the one and only Mr. Jon Reep. Come on.
What's up, brother? How are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sit down. Sit down. No need for that. I appreciate that. That was very.
You know what they're doing? They're applauding your fine performance in 2013 on Eastbound and Down. That's what I mean.
Well, I do. That was a good one. In fact, you know what's funny? On my podcast, we do a thing where we read my residual checks, and I happen to have some from Eastbound and Down.
Let me put on some sunglasses, brother. How much are we making?
This is one of the segments we have. It's called "How Much Is That Residual Check?" And if my co-host can guess it on the dot, they get the check.
That's a good game, man.
Yeah,
right.
One wins. I'll play it with you. I've got. I'm just going to pick one. I got one right here. This is for Eastbound and Down, chapter 25, one episode. How much is this residual check?
Oof.
Before you say anything, because we all got a shot at this, hold on. Can I ask if it's under or over an amount to give me a ballpark, or do I just got to go at it?
Yeah, we could do it that way. I mean, otherwise, well, part of the beauty of the game is I like to figure out what you think it is, Because
All right.
look,
I got it.
Look, Steve, it could be anywhere from a nickel to $5,000.
Well,
I'm going to say it's
how often do they come? Can I ask that?
I get different ones from different shows in my mailbox probably once every 10 days to 2 weeks.
Oof, mailbox money, man. Nothing like that.
All right. Eastbound and Down. I know you were funny. I enjoyed the show. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to go low. Don't you take offense to this.
I'm not.
$121.
Okay. Who else is playing?
Okay, I've got my number. I don't know why this came to my head. $8.73.
Okay. Is Maynard playing, or is he just?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'll say. Yeah, it's got to be some random number, and they probably come a lot. So I'll just say 57.50.
Wow. Well,
great game.
I bet the dollar on The Price is Right.
I'm not going to do the Price is Right rules. I'm just doing closest to the number.
Okay.
And the amount is $28.06.
Damn it.
Thank you.
It was a while back. So
Yeah.
And there's other ones here: 1684, 4912, 3516. You know.
Okay, so no wonder you give them away. And then I was like, man, are you giving away thousands of dollars? Like shit.
You know, I just sort of hang on to them until I got to go to the bank for a big one, and I go, oh yeah, here's 5 nothings.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
what is your? You know what? I've never asked you in the studio, and God knows I should. I know you lived in LA for 17 or so years, you know, and a lot of times when you'd come and visit us in Atlanta, you know, whether it was on 96 Rock or Rock 100.5, you know, you were traveling in from there. And I don't even know your status, man, as far as a girl, you know, because I would think if you go into the bank teller with those checks and she's kind of hot. Let's just think about it. The bank teller girl's a little hot, and she sees Eastbound and Down or whatever, the network or whatever, and she's like, NBC, you know, and I mean, they got to look at you and like, oh God, even if she doesn't know who you are, she
Right.
has to be interested.
Yes, I do. I have a girlfriend, number one. But yes, it's, you know, in Hickory, there's not many residual checks coming into this town. So even if it's like $28.13, the fact that it's got Eastbound and Down HBO or ABC Disney, that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
I do get questions, you know, from the teller. But I think the amount, it makes up for it. It's like, oh, that's it.
You know, I was watching some of your performances, and I've seen you live as well. But the one thing I love is when you get that audience, you know, obviously you living in LA, that had to just been a laugh effing riot, you know, just the accent. But you're not the only good old boy out there. You know, you're one of many. But I love when you're waiting, the patience that you have on stage, that if they're not laughing immediately when you do, I'm from Hickory, you know,
Right.
that you will literally hold it. You'll hold it or maybe give a little dance. You'll stop, give a little dance, Hickory.
Yeah.
And you will wait. You're going to earn that laugh, and you get it. And I just think that's genius right out of the chute when you do comedy.
Thank you. That was kind of an accident, you know. Like I remember the first time I shook my head when I said Hickory on stage, it was kind of an accident. I don't know why. I just had a little boost of energy, and I just did that, and that got a laugh. And I go, oh, they're laughing at me saying it like that, and then I just kept it. But it was not on purpose. It just sort of stuck around, but. It turned into, because Last Comic Standing, you know, I said it on Last Comic Standing like that, you know, I'm from Hickory, like that. And I said it one time, and they liked it so much, they put it in the promo for each episode coming up next. It was like, coming up next week, we got the guy from Hickory. So I said it every episode that year. So it looked like that's all I ever said. But now, because of that, when I go tour, and if I'm going to tell that joke, which I can't really, I go, it's good to be here. I'm not from here. I'm from, and I do like that. And everyone in the crowd goes, Hickory. So now the audience finishes the joke for me, which is a good problem.
Well, one thing that, you know, I guess my guys too, you know, Brett Barney, my co-host, along with Tyler Maynard, don't know, and I get, I'm lucky to know it, is that when you come in, you're just down to earth. You're one of my favorite people that visits, and so I really wanted you on this podcast just because I've enjoyed you on Bailey and Southside. But, even moving back to Hickory, and I know you're out there with your parents and you're taking care of them, I just think it's just it's straight up. You're just a good dude, and I just want people to know that outside of the incredible money you have made and the fame that you have.
Thank you. Well, thank you. And I feel the same way about you, brother.
Because radio guys can be douchebags, right? You have to come across a few.
Yeah, 100%. I don't want to ruin my street cred, but I'm pretty nice. Here's a sentence that you'll like. I am a 48-year-old divorced man who lives with his mother.
Can't make it up. Can't make it. Well, you could. You could.
Yeah.
A lot in common. I was my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She just walked in, actually. That's what I was waiting on. I was like, hey,
my mom right now is laying down in her bed. She just put eye drops in, and she's listening to Dolly Parton's podcast.
God dang. That's America. That's America.
That's Hickory.
That's
That
it.
is Hickory. God bless you, dude. That's awesome. I know we were trying to get you on earlier in the week. You're like, well, I got to take Mama to the eye doctor. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll work around that. I will work around that. I think that's awesome that you're living there. Is your girlfriend from the area, or did you just bring her with you?
No, I was done with California chicks, dude. When I came back here, well, right before I moved back, I met a girl, and her name's Jody, and we've been going out ever since. But yeah, it's all true. Like, I don't know how many people know the whole story. I moved back here about 2 years ago. I was living in LA, like you said, 17, 18 years. My career's always done this. I'm fortunate enough to have a manager and an agent, so I really don't even need to be in LA if I'm just going to do comedy. And even as an actor, the industry's changed so much that I don't even need to be there for auditions anymore. I can just send myself, on tape to them or whatever, video, and they can do it that way. That's how I got Harold and Kumar and Eastbound and Down. But so I'm like, why am I even in LA anymore? And I actually started to miss my family, like for real, a lot. And I'm like, you know what? The housing market's at a good space. Let me put it on the market, see what happens. And I sold it. And then I moved back. I flew my dad out to Los Angeles. We packed all my stuff up in a U-Haul, drove back to Hickory. And about 2 months later, he has a stroke. Oh. And I'm like, oh, great timing, which was weird because in a weird way, I would have hated myself if I were not here during all of that. I was very fortunate and thankful in a weird way that I was able to be here during all that crazy stuff. He's alive. He's in a skilled nursing facility. He's paralyzed on his left side. And just recently, my mother had surgery for cataract surgery, and she's got glaucoma and osteoporosis. And my new job is caregiver. Now the comedy clubs are not open anymore. I'm an Uber driver for Mama, and and we deliver milkshakes to my dad because we can't see him because the quarantine and everything.
Well, yeah, nursing homes are the craziest places right now.
Yeah. So we just what we do is deliver milkshakes and Little Debbie snacks to him and just drop them off and come home and talk to him on the phone. But yeah, my life's 100% different than what it was when I was in Los Angeles.
Wow, no doubt. And that run had to have been a trip. For those that don't know about Jon Reep, you had to have seen the Hemi commercials. And again, I love your bit parts in movies and your stand up, but the Hemi thing went on for a long time. If I'm correct, didn't a Hemi commercial with you, did you get Super Bowl on one of them, or was it just running throughout the year? I thought that there was a Super Bowl commercial. Maybe I'm wrong.
I had it ran throughout the year. It ran from like 2002. I did 6 of those commercials, and they ran from 2002 to about 2004 or 5. And it wasn't a Super Bowl commercial, but I was in the only other commercial I've ever done that's not Dodge. Well, the second one. That's national anyway, was for Sierra Mist, and that was a Super Bowl commercial. It aired during the Panthers versus the Patriots Super Bowl.
Okay.
Patton Oswalt is in it. I'm in it. You got Chip Chinnery. You got Chris Farley's brother. And
I didn't even know he had a brother. That's great.
He's got like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, they look a lot like him, actually.
Wow.
His younger brother looks exactly like Chris Farley, and the older one's a taller, skinny version of that. It's weird, but that was a commercial for Sierra Mist. It was Patton Oswalt was the lead bagpipe player. We're in a bagpipe guys walking down a parade. He's missing, and that Marilyn Monroe thing where you stand over a grate and it blows air up her skirt. Because he had a kilt on. It was that whole thing. But that's the only one I've ever done. That was a Super Bowl commercial. That and I did one for Zaxby's Chicken.
Yes, I remember Zaxby's. Which who doesn't like Zaxby's Chicken? I want to talk to the man. I mean, the bread, fries, they pack it all in there. That 4-piece meal.
They're great. But I will tell you, when I did that commercial, it was nice because they hired me for me. I didn't have to audition. They called up my people and go, "Oh, we want Jon to be in this commercial," which is nice. But then they shot it in New York, which I thought was weird. I guess the ad agency was based in New York. So I had to fly to New York. And, they have hair and makeup people there. But I didn't see any mirrors. And this lady's like, let me just do your hair real quick. I'm like, yeah, I don't, look at I do whatever you want. I don't care. I'll wear a hat anyway. But anyway, they did my hair. And I watched the commercial later, like about a month later, because I didn't see any mirrors in there. I didn't have a chance to correct what they did. But they Justin Bieber'd me. I got my hair is all over to this side like this. You hear me?
Maynard. Oh,
Maynard.
I don't know. What is that?
Wait. Hold on. Were you cussing? I'm gonna say that you were cussing, and we had to just beep that all out.
That was the longest 4-letter word ever.
That was some weird feedback or something. I don't know what that was.
No, I think that Jon went on a riff, and his computer protects his little redneck ass.
Yeah,
that's some advanced software, man.
Yeah, it knows Mama's next door, and I can't be cussing.
You can't be cussing. And that's another thing, dude, is that, outside of your commercial and stuff, your comedy, I dig it. You're kind of like, you get compared a little bit to Jeff Foxworthy, and I know you're okay with that, but I dig a clean comic. You want to bust a cuss word here or there, but, you got like a Ron White type that's got a cigar, and the first thing out of his mouth is God knows what, and then you, but I'm laughing my butt off at both of you, and it's cool what you do. What ran you that route?
Well, when I first started stand-up, there was no internet. There was, and the best way to be on television was to be clean. And that was the only reason. It's not because of some moral thing or anything else. I just wanted more work. As a comedian, if you're cleaner, you can work more, like corporate events, late-night television spots, whatever. So that's how the whole thing started. But I like all fine. If it's funny, it's funny. I don't care if there's cuss words in there or not. In fact, I do. One of my albums I just released not long ago called Ginger Pain. There's a story on there that's not very clean, and it's about me sending a dick pic.
Well, who did you send a dick pic to? I got to know. And I assume now I come from a lovely redheaded woman. We're Irish on my mama's side, big time. Like grandmother was the only one born in the States. Her brothers and sisters were born in Ireland. So they came over on the boat like late 1800s. So my mom is fair skin, redhead. And my brothers and I got a little bit of red in our beard, which is now turned gray because we're old.
Right.
But you, I see the gray coming, but it was hard for me to date a redhead because I walked in on my mother. I guess I was about 14 or 15.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say, dude.
Yeah, she's laying in the bathtub, and she's sitting there doing her thing, and my mom's not groomed by any means. It's not a grooming era. It's the 70s. So it wasn't even like a pizza slice. It was like Caesar, Little Caesars. It was square.
Right.
And it was very unkept.
Oh, square. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going retro. I like that. Yeah.
And it was floating on top. It was like a red hair island. And then she's got her breasts. And my mother has great looking breasts. She'll kill me for saying this. But she had a washcloth, and she went up and then she went down. She didn't know what to do with the washcloth. And I'm asking her questions. And I'm like, oh, it's just mom naked. Yeah. But that red hair.
Question.
What is happening?
I think this is for Dr. David Markwell, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm fine. We were one of those open door houses. You walked
Okay.
in on. We all walked in on each other. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
So
did
that
really-
makes it so you can't hook up with a redheaded lady?
No, I hooked up with 3, but I know my mother is the sweetest angel on earth. But also there comes a passion with that red hair. Biggest freaks in the bedroom, those 3 girls, but they would also the 3 that would kill you if you acted up on them. And I knew, so that scared me. I know my father had to fear my mother because when she goes off, it's a special kind of going off. But the red hair through it, I assume you have red hair down there.
Oh, it's strawberry blonde.
Oh, that's beautiful. Actually, that's beautiful, John.
Yeah. So like, if you look at the, you can't tell, but if you look at my arm, it's the color of my arm hairs. It's like, this is reddish. I don't even think this is really red.
No wonder you're sending dick pics. That's like a work of art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that whole thing was because I said a dick pic.
Yeah. So that's what we get on. But I just wanted to tell you that. Yeah, I don't have any. You're one of my redheaded buddies, and I've just never seen you. I've never gone to the bathroom with you or anything.
Would you like to see?
I mean, at the top of it, be nice.
I trim it. My hair doesn't reach the top of it. The top of it. Oh, the top of my torso. I thought you meant the top of my penis. Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if you have a little belly trail.
I'll get
but I think you're beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
Wait, what'd you say, Brett?
It starts here.
No.
Pull one out.
Yeah, it's a strawberry. No, I'm not. It hurts, dude. I'm not doing that. It's the same color as my eyebrow hair and my arm hair. I mean, you can't really tell a difference, but the story is more about me sending someone else's dick. I met a girl online, and we were getting all hot and heavy with the texting, which led to the sexting. And then one day she just says, "Show it to me," and I'm like, I don't want to show it to her, but I didn't want the sexting to end, so I just typed in "big ginger dick," and I hit images, and I found a really nice big old ginger penis, and I sent it to her. And then she flipped out. She's like, "Oh my God, that's awesome!" Like she got way too enthusiastic.
If only she would have typed that same thing into Google, she would have got that first hit.
Well, no, I went 4 pages deep.
Oh, okay.
Smart
Move. Smart.
Yeah, I
that's
got
really smart. What you should have done is dated her, John, and been like, I don't know, I'm going through a shrinkage issue. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I sent a real good one that curved up. I had that Peyronie's disease, So I sent that to her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I didn't know you had a big old ginger dick like that." And the whole time I'm thinking, I hope I never meet this girl because she's going to be sorely disappointed. And we never met.
Oh,
yeah.
I just Googled it.
Oh.
I just Googled it on my phone and looked. I don't know why.
I have it. I can send it to you.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the difference. John is an entertainer. And I would say, Tyler, you and Brett are perverts. That's the difference.
Fair enough.
I got Ted's advice right here.
No, Maynard, you don't send no dick pic.
Yeah. You don't do it. When you were in L.A. running around, especially during the height, I would say, doing the Dodge Hemi stuff. And by the way, I've got to ask, outside of the money, did they hook you up with a Dodge? Did you get a good deal on a Dodge?
Yeah, after the third commercial, they asked me. I told my agent, I said, "Hey, if Dodge wants to do another commercial, see if you can get a vehicle out of them." And he goes, "Okay." So he calls him up. He goes, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but your spokesman is driving around Los Angeles right now in a Suzuki Sidekick," and so. They're like, "What? We can't have him seen in a Suzuki Sidekick." So he made it their problem. And then, he's a good agent. And then, 2 weeks later, I got a brand new Dodge Ram 1500 quad cab. It had chrome wheels. It was black. It was nice. I had it for about a year and a half. And then my ex-wife, she backed it into the garage. When I say into the garage, I mean smashed it into the garage, So it was too big for L.A. The valet guys couldn't park it anywhere. I would pull up to the Comedy Store, and the guys who had parked it would be like, "No, dude, no, just please don't. Just, park it on the street and come in here. So it was a pain in the butt. But I now drive a 2012 Beetle Volkswagen.
Do you really? I never would have put you in that. Not that that's a bad thing. Why the Beetle?
I take it back. I don't drive it. I own it. I bought it from my mother just it was convenient for financial reasons. I actually drive my dad's old, I drive a 2014 Buick Enclave, but I owned the Beetle. So I like telling people that I drive. Yeah, it's funny because I have driven it before, just, for whatever reason, I drove her around, or I'll be in that Volkswagen Beetle in Hickory at a stoplight, and a guy in a Dodge Ram will pull up right next to me, and it just they look down at me like, oh, what happened?
Aren't you you're the reason I bought the damn thing, dude. Yeah. What are you doing in a Beetle?
Traitor. You know what I did do? I did a spoof commercial. You can find it if you go to hickoryliveshow.com. You can see it on there. It's on YouTube as well. But I did a spoof commercial where I'm now, the Hemi guy is grown up. He's no longer blue collar. He is a white collar guy, and he drives a Prius. And I'm sitting at a stoplight, and the guys pull up next to me in a Dodge Ram truck, and they look at me and they go, "What is that, a hybrid?" And I go, "Yeah, it's a hybrid." And then we floor it, just like in the very first commercial. We attempt to race, but they run out of gas, and I keep going.
Oh, that's funny, but it pains me. I don't know. I honestly don't know that I could be really close friends with anybody that owned a Prius. I can be, I can know you. We can talk.
Right. Yeah.
We can be acquaintances, but I don't know that I could be tight. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I don't really know many people who have them out here. I was doing it because, you know how that Verizon Wireless guy, he was at Verizon Wireless, and then he switched to Sprint.
Yeah, that bastard, that traitor, and then he goes just talking bad about Verizon. What the hell?
There it is. There's the commercial. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, play it.
We got no audio.
Here we go.
Oh! Yeah, it's a hybrid. Sometimes you just gotta move on.
That's good.
Sometimes you got to move on.
Yeah, just move on, man, because I got tired of people calling me the Hemi guy, and I noticed that Sprint commercial, that Verizon Wireless guy. I thought, why not make a funny spoof? So I did, and I don't drive a Hemi. I drive like I said, I own a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, you know what? And the Hemi thing is definitely the one thing I know that people tease you about. That's funny that you're like, hey, man, I want to be known for a little bit more than that. The one thing the series of comedy that you did for me, Are You Faster Than a Redneck?
Right. Yes, I was the host of that show for Speed Network. And it was the #1 show on the Speed Network. And then the Speed Network got canceled. Not the show, the network. They turned it into Fox Sports 1. And they go like, you know what? We're done with this automotive stuff. And that's it. Like they were just done with it. But we shot that in South Carolina on a track. And it was a lot of fun. And I would love to do another one. But I just know – I talked to one of the producers of it. And he was thinking about doing something, but this Corona and this COVID has put everything at a standstill. Nothing's getting made. Everyone's afraid to go out and work, and I don't know what's going to happen.
No, it's a tough spot. You're right. And where you are in Hickory, North Carolina, even here, where I live in Alpharetta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, it's an issue, but it's not such an issue. But the hot spots are California, New York, where all the work's coming, outside of movies being filmed here, but nobody's really kicked it in. Yeah, it is a tough spot. That sucks, and right now with comedy, are any of the comedy clubs open right now? Is there anything going on?
No, North Carolina is in like phase 2 or something where it's like, I think the theaters and comedy clubs will be the last thing that they're going to allow to open because, at a comedy club, you want people next to each other packed in real tight.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of them doing it, but I know Texas is doing it. Florida's doing it. In fact, my next gig coming up. We'll be in Florida, in Tampa, Florida, June 11th at a club. And I'm not even sure how it's going to go. I guess they're going to go every other table. I guess people are going to be wearing masks. It's going to be weird, but I'm going to give it a go. I just got to get out of the house, man.
No, you should. What, Brett?
Does John have to wear a mask?
Hell no.
Giving you any restrictions?
I do have a mask being made right now because the guys who do my merch they just sent me a thing going like, dude, there's a lot of people getting their own masks made. Do you want to make a mask? So I said, yes. So in the future, pretty soon, if you can you'll go to my website, you can buy a mask that is my face. So you too could have a ginger beard. So like, I'm worried that the whole crowd's going to look like me.
Well, first off, I know you joke about it, and it's like, we got a guy that works down the hall from us that's really short, and I haven't seen him in a long time, but he always talks about his height. Dude, you're a beautiful ginger. I want you to know that. I love it.
Thank you very much.
It's not a bad thing, basically. But you know what? I do highlights on my hair. Have you thought about doing some blonde highlights and just really, surfing it up? I mean, you got 17 years of Cali in you, baby. You can go there.
I could. What I did do was, you can't tell now, but everyone was getting these weird, because you can't go to a barber shop or a salon. Everyone was trying to cut their own hair. I had my girlfriend come in and cut my hair, but you can't tell. I was kind of going for like a little a mohawk, or a mullet, but my hair is not quite long enough. It's getting there, but I'm gonna go real short on the sides and just leave this. I might go short here. I don't know, dude.
No, let it grow, baby. Do the ponytail. Do it like your brother in Atlanta. Come on.
I'm happy to have any hair at all. I will do that. It'll take me a while. Do you have an accessory I can buy at a merch?
Yeah, well, I've got my hair in a bun right now, but you can see the highlights right here. I got some blonde highlights. I do it all, baby. I do it all.
You should sell little clips that people could just clip into their hair that looks like a ponytail.
That's it. You know what? I should, attach it to a "Yeah, come on" hat.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I do like the fact that you have your merch too. And right now, I want to talk to you. I want to hear a monologue of what it's going to be like June 11th. I just want to know how much COVID crap you got in your comedy. I'm going to put you on the spot. But before that, we came up with this idea, Brett and I, of a cigarette break. And I want to give you one. You deserve a cigarette break, and that's the time it takes to smoke a cigarette or less. I want you to talk about what you've been doing, what's out there, and how people can find some of your material, because right now there is nothing new. So they may not have some of the works you've done, and I'd love to make you a buck or two.
Well, thank you very much. I've been busting my ass working on my podcast as well. It's called Country-ish, and it comes out every Friday. I've got great segments. We do a small town news segment. We do. I found my old high school journal. I can't believe I even did that. Our teacher made us keep a diary or whatever, and I found it when I moved back home. And now I pull out random entries, and I read them on the podcast to let my friends make fun of me. That's called John's Journal. We do a segment called Goodwill Hunting. One of my buddies, his name is Mark Hunt, and he's poor. And he shops at Goodwill. And so what we'll do is we'll go to a Goodwill. I'll buy a gift for him. He buys a gift for me, and we exchange it on the show, but it has to have meaning behind why we do it. And we just shoot the shit. We also do movie reviews. But we review movies that are only streaming right now. So not ones in the theater, but ones that you can watch with us if you wanted to. But we do like old school country-ish movies. Like the last one we did was Clint Eastwood's Every Which Way But Loose.
Okay, great.
Have you seen that recently?
No, I haven't seen it in years. That's with the big monkey, the ape that punches.
Yeah, right turn, Clyde.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So we do that. We covered Urban Cowboy as well. Surprisingly, by the way, I remember when Urban Cowboy came out, I thought, well, that's dumb. I'm not going to watch this. It's stupid. John Travolta is not a cowboy. I don't buy it. But I watched it, and it's not a comedy, but I laughed my ass off.
Yeah. There's some funny stuff in it.
Yeah, it's great. That's what we do. We watch movies that you can, even if they're not a comedy, we find comedy in them, and you can watch it with us and comment and all that good stuff. So I've been busting my ass on that. Here's one that you'll like too. So I got a buddy, the guy, his name's Mark Hunt, but he kind of looks like he could be related to John Stamos.
Nice.
Yes.
Good looking fella.
He's a good-looking dude. He's newly divorced, and he's back on the prowl. And someone mentioned that he looks like a Stamos, and I go, aha, I got you, buddy. I made business cards that say Marcus Stamos, and it says actor-producer John Stamos' brother. And there's a website that I made a website for him and everything. So now when we go out, and people go like, oh, my gosh, you're Jon Reep. Hey. I go, yeah, but you know who that is? That's John Stamos' brother. Have his card. And then it deflects people off of me, and maybe it gets him laid.
Dude, that's nice. I do the same thing for Brett. I have to get him laid all the time. It's the same thing.
I wish you were more successful, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
I got cards. Whose brother can I be?
I'll do better. What are you hawking on your website? So how can people get some of your merch again?
I got these T-shirts, country-ish T-shirts. I got the Hickory Live hats, which is a TV pilot I did. It looks like a Patagonia hat.
Oh, well, it does. It does.
It just says Hickory on it. I'm going to get some koozies made. There's all kinds of T-shirts and stuff like there. We're getting country-ish hats as well. But, yeah, it's without performing, there's really like my merch is just kind of sitting there because normally I don't really hawk it too much on the podcast. It's there if you want it, but most of my sales would come after a show where people would just kind of want to meet you and just get a souvenir.
Sure.
But so I've got plenty in stock.
All right, people, get one of those hats. Go get you some Hickory, baby. And from a glance, they'll think it's Patagonia. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about mine? It's my own handwriting. Yeah, come on.
I love it, buddy. I love it. Now, let's see here. Yeah, come on. Can you? I know you're of a certain age where you can actually write in cursive.
I can.
Yes. You know, a lot of kids don't even know how to write in cursive anymore.
No, dude, it blows my mind the fact that they don't teach it. It's an art. My father and my mother both had awesome handwriting, so it was a thing. So I've got like an incredible signature. But I still write cursive, and I still write checks. So I write them out, and people look at me like, first off, you're handing me a check. Second off, it's in cursive. I go, well, it's supposed to be in cursive.
Right.
It is.
Speaking of no, I like your hat, brother.
Thank you. I like yours too. We got to buy each other's merch.
Let's do it.
YeahComeOn.com, baby. But no, I wanted you on the Yeah Come On show, like I said, just because we work together professionally a lot, and I know you're not touring right now. And I think about you. I watch your stuff. I love your comedy bits. Very, very funny shit. And Brett is a fan too. He's a little bit of a closet fan. And I got to turn you over before I let you go. My co-host wants to ask you a few questions. I will tell you, and I always say this to anybody that follows us on the Yeah Come On show. It is true. I don't censor him. He has asked some uncomfortable questions, but I'll let him be the jackass because I have a relationship with you.
Okay, that's fine.
And you don't need to like Brett when this is over, so I'm going to let him do what he does.
I look forward to this. Please.
Go for it, Brett.
All right, firing off random stuff. Okay, realistically thinking about this, were you the first person to ever go viral?
Was I what now?
Were you the first person to ever go viral?
No, I was not. Why?
You don't think so? With the Hemi commercials?
Viral?
You were everywhere.
No.
You were kind of like
I think the first
kind of stuff.
I think the first person to go viral. Oh, and Steve, I see what you mean now by the questions. I think the first person to go viral was the lady who was like chopping the grapes and trying to make wine, and she fell down and started going, ow, 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 ow.
Yeah,
I remember that
in Atlanta.
Yeah, in Georgia.
It happened right here. It happened at Chateau Alon, right up the road.
I hope she's okay. Someone needs to do a follow-up with her because I remember that. I mean, that's big. That was when the internet was kind of new, but everyone knew that. Actually, the first thing to go viral is probably that dancing baby from what TV show was that? Ally McBeal or whatever?
Yes. Oh, dude, you just went old school. I loved Ally McBeal. That was great. Do you want to hear something funny? My trainer, which I don't have him now, but I had him for about 12 years. His sister was the black woman that lived across the hall from Ally McBeal.
Whoa, it's a small world, man.
It was. And I used to talk to him all the time about Ally McBeal stuff. He's like, man, shut up. I'm like, I love that show. It was great.
Yeah, she was cute. It was the original show when it came out. But yeah, so in terms of going viral, I don't think the commercials are even in that category. But
Just
no,
went viral. The dance.
Here we go. I knew this was going to come up. Oh, man.
now this may have gone viral. This has gone viral.
It's going there. Oh, moonwalk. Shit.
Moonwalk on grass, not easy. Michael Jackson crotch grabs. I'm singing "What I Like About You," and then I start doing the worm. I used to break dance when I was younger, and it's a pretty decent worm. And
That's
then,
good.
These guys give me a wedgie.
Yeah, what the hell? The whole crowd got on your side too. That's so funny.
Why do they always grab you by the back of the belt? I hate that. I've been arrested. Why do they do that? I'm like, don't pull my underwear up my crack. Stop.
They know they got you. You can't really do much when you're like suspended on your tippy toes with the underwear in your ass. That one guy, if you look at the tape again, you don't have to do it now, but that first cop who grabs me, I think it's Dale Earnhardt's twin brother. The dude looks just like Dale Earnhardt. But yeah, that one's kind of going viral. I will tell you, the #1 video of mine on YouTube is not even stand up. It's nothing like that. It's a fake video. It looks like it could be real. And it's based on a bit that I had about how everybody in Louisiana drinks, like everybody. Like if you get pulled over in Louisiana and your blood alcohol level is lower than the cops who stopped you, they just let you go. So I based it on that, and my dad was a cop, and he let me use his squad car, and we shot a fake dash cam video of me as a drunk cop pulling over a guy, and then I'm failing my own sobriety test. It's gotten like 5 million hits because people think it's real. And especially when a cop does something bad in the news, that video starts to recirculate again because people want to share it. They go, see, look what this pig did. Meanwhile, it's me going, it's a joke.
You're probably got a lot of hits right now, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm afraid to even share it right now. Like, why is this so popular?
Don't. People are shopping for free right now at Targets in Minneapolis. It ain't the time, son.
No. I'm just going to sit there. It's out there, though. Look up drunk cops fails a sobriety test.
Hey, real quick before he asks you another question, when you got pulled over, when you got raped in the end zone at the Panthers game, huge Panther fan. I think anybody that follows Jon Reep or knows who you are knows that. But wasn't it kind of a bit? Wasn't somebody in on it? But you got literally arrested, right? That was a fail.
Yeah. I was. They just kicked me out of the game. I was already dancing in the stands. The whole crowd was into it. And then I made my way down to behind the goalpost. This was in Clemson, South Carolina, in 1995. There was a grass hill that anybody could just sit on the hill if they wanted to watch the game there. So I was over there dancing, and the whole stadium was into it, laughing. And the mascot waved me out to dance with him.
That's it. Yeah, I remember
So
now.
I was invited by Sir Purr, but we found out later that he did not have the authority to invite people onto the field.
Sir Purr's authority was not all encompassing, I guess.
Which is weird because he's a knight. He's been knighted. He's a sir.
That's true.
Are you allowed at Panthers games?
Yes.
Just
Yeah, I go back. I was there last season. I watched us get killed by the Redskins. That's where our coach lost his job after that game. Much.
Dude.
That was horrible. But I go back. I try to go back during night games. As a ginger, I like the nighttime better. And I try to go for in October where it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I've even dressed up like the Pink Panther. Like I got a pink outfit. I dye my hair and my beard pink. And I'm the Pink Panther for breast cancer awareness. But they've forgiven me. I got a letter in the mail. They apologized to me.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you were asked by the mascot, not your fault. Who wouldn't have done that? You're getting all this attention. You're on the jumbo screen. The mascot waves you down. Anybody would have taken that opportunity.
And for years, I didn't even know who the person was behind the mask. And I'd go on radio shows in North Carolina, and I'd be like, I don't know who you are, Mr. Purr, but you show your face to my show tonight. And finally, he reached out to me, and his name's Tommy Donovan, and we're friends now.
That's cool. That's cool. Very cool.
Being a Panthers fan, who's a better quarterback, Matt Ryan or Cam Newton?
Matt Ryan.
Okay, now who's a better quarterback, Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Well,
all right. Obviously, you lived in Southern California, right? You were south of LA. Where were you?
Well, Phillip Rivers went to North Carolina State University, and that's where I went. So I root for him because I watched him play in college. I watched him beat Florida State when they won the whole championship. The only game they lost was to us, and that's because of Phillip Rivers. I like his temper. I like that he wears a bolo tie. I like that he's got 700 kids and one wife. So I like Phillip Rivers. Matt Ryan's great, although he's hit or miss too. He did blow the biggest lead in the Super Bowl of all time.
Yeah, that still hurts. I have never watched that game again. I can't. I will never be able to put into words, Jon Reep, how many people I called at halftime going, yeah, and I was watching it. I'm like, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. And it was horrible.
You and everyone else was thinking the same thing, man. But I never make those phone calls until it's over.
No,
but I remember I was on the road somewhere. I was in a hotel by myself, just watching the game, and it was a blowout. I'm like, screw this, and I got some pizza. I pigged out and I passed out, thinking this game is over. I woke up at the end of the fourth quarter, going, "What happened?" And I've never even, and I've not went back to watch it either. I've seen highlights here and there, but wow. So to answer your question, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and Phillip Rivers, real quick, I did not realize he went to your alma mater, and I don't think I even knew he was Southerner. It makes sense with the haircut and everything, but I put that dude on my fantasy league. He gets it done, but he never gets a whole lot of hype. But he's a solid ass quarterback. I'll give you that for sure.
Well, he's kind of like like the Dan Marino minus a Super Bowl victory, because he could get there. He never had the right team around him to go the whole distance. And even when he screws up, he looks so surprised that I believe that it was somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Well, I like his passion, but yeah. No, well, do you think what's this year going to be like in the NFL, man?
I don't know. I'm with you. I think that you can play the NFL without fans, and I think there's some fans that are going to want to go in. I see a 50% occupancy and a rate on tickets. I think it's going to be crazy, but I still think they'll do it. That, golf, NASCAR, the things that are still functioning. I don't know what baseball is going to do. I'm not paying enough attention to know. I'll wait till I see it. But the NFL is going to happen. It's just whether there'll be fans in the stands. I never saw this all coming, dude. I really didn't. I'm like, what the hell? And the conservative in me is going, this is bull crap. This is crap. But the fact that I got a wife downstairs that's going to have a baby in 3 weeks keeps me at home.
Yeah. No, I will tell you this. I didn't either, by the way. No, no one saw it coming like this. I thought it would blow over in a couple weeks. But in a weird way, this pandemic, I'm the healthiest I've ever been because of this pandemic. Because I'm not on the road eating fast food, drinking beer every night and getting hammered. I'm at home with my mom, and my brother is a CrossFit fanatic. I've been going to his garage, flipping tires and doing burpees. I feel great right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. What else you got, Brett?
Okay, so there's been a lot of funny comedians on Last Comic Standing, not including yourself. Who's the funniest comedian to ever be on that show? Because there's a lot of big name comedians who haven't won. Like, you beat Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
She got well before the finals.
Yeah, my season was Amy Schumer, Lavelle Crawford came in second. Gosh, it's hard to say because there's so many good ones. Well, because I want to try and answer the question honestly. The funniest one to me, have you guys seen John Heffron live ever?
I haven't.
This is a lot of TV can make or break you in a weird way, because I've had people come up to come see me live and go like, you are way funnier live than you are on television. And they can edit you and cut you many different ways. John Heffron's one of those guys. Like, you see him live, he's very funny. Way different than what you saw on TV, because they'll cut your material up and make it just 2 minutes when maybe it was supposed to be 5 minutes. Jerry D, my season, another guy, Canadian dude, one of the funniest guys ever. He's killing it in Canada right now. He's had his own sitcom for like 12 years. He's the host of the Family Feud Canada.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that just made me laugh out loud everything he said. And Doug Benson was on my season, also very funny. But it's hard to answer that question because it's so subjective.
Yeah.
But I guess that's my answer.
That's the point. But random question: what does Brad Paisley smell like?
He smells like cinnamon.
He's like a cinnamon bun, like a cinnamon roll, like a fresh one.
Yeah, like fresh out the oven.
Does he really? Because that's awesome.
I get cinnamon. I get notes of jicama. No, he's great. He has no odor whatsoever that I can recall, but he's got a great sense of humor, and he's got a lot of funny songs, and he thinks I'm funny, so I'm a fan.
Who stinks? No, hold on 1 second. Stinks, because I've got somebody that I smell that's a famous person. A boy and a girl. Lenny Kravitz and Sheryl Crow both stinked when I met them. Like, smelled horrible.
Sheryl Crow?
No, don't ruin it for me.
Yeah, she came in,
Not
dirty
Sheryl
feet. I'm sorry. Patchouli with B.O.
Oh, that hurts my soul. I don't want to think that about her.
Sorry.
I'm David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. The current situation we're in is bringing all kinds of issues into our lives, everything from stress and anxiety to frustration, bouts of depression and loneliness. Well, we're here to help at Ridgeline Counseling. You can reach us at 770-993-9700, or you can email us at ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. Currently, we're offering telemental services through video and phone platforms, and in a few weeks, we'll be transitioning back to in-person office visits. In the meantime, stay safe. We'll get through this. Yeah, come on.
Well, let's go ahead and do some random questions from Brett Barney for Jon Reep, and then we're going to let you go, John, and have a wonderful afternoon in Hickory, buddy.
Go for
All
it.
right.
Brett.
So the Dodge campaign. Are you faster than a redneck? You were Officer Gerald Bob. All these roles that you played. Your father worked at Goodyear. He was also a part-time police officer. How much inspiration did you get from your father's careers in the characters that you've played?
Oh, that's a good one. A lot. That's good. Yeah. He was a manager of a Goodyear. So there's a lot of automotive stuff in my act, obviously. He was a cop. I talk about my dad a lot in my act. He's like 50% of my act. I mean, really, I could do a whole hour based on him. In fact, a lot of times for Father's Day, I just do a whole Father's Day, show where it's like, bring your dads. We'll hook them up with a drink, and I'll just talk about dads for an hour. But he's huge inspiration to me as a kid. He got class clown when he was in high school, his senior year. I got it. My brother got it after me. So we inherited it from him. It all starts with David Reep. And I just remember laughing really hard at my dad. He was the funny one, and I just sort of report on him. But I remember as a kid, like him, when someone would make my dad laugh, I would think, wow, that's genius. How do you make the funny guy laugh? And then I devoted my whole life to trying to figure that out. And I remember as a kid watching, speaking of clean comedians, but this is going to sound weird, we would watch Bill Cosby. And we would sit there because it was clean. We didn't know he was drugging and raping people at the time. But we would sit there as a family and watch Bill Cosby, and I watched my dad laugh his ass off, and I go, well, that's what I want to do. So he was a huge inspiration.
Dude, that's awesome. Anything else in closing, Brett?
Yeah, the two I was going to ask him are, how do you define the term redneck?
Everyone's got their own definition, it seems like. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, ask that again, Brett, because, yeah, there's just a little delay.
I can hear you, buddy.
Yeah,
I got you.
Brett, ask the question again.
Yeah, y'all just work with the we'll cut again here. We'll just work with the delay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask it again.
Go, Brett.
Steve said in the opening that you're a redneck. I was curious how you define redneck and what you thought the most redneck TV show is.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on your location. Everyone's got their own definition of what a redneck is. There's country people, and then there's redneck people. They're not necessarily the same. Then there's white trash people. Everyone's got their own definition, and I don't know what's right or what's wrong, but I don't really, the whole idea of my podcast is country-ish. Ish. I'm not really 100% redneck. Like I told you before, I own a Volkswagen Beetle. I don't hunt really. I don't fish. But some of my best friends are rednecks. So maybe by location, I'm a redneck by proxy, and I certainly sound and act like a redneck, but I don't do a whole lot of redneck things. And what was your last question? What's the most redneck thing on TV?
The second part, what's the most redneck TV show? Mine is personally Lizard Lip Towing.
Oh, yeah. That's fake, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's staged. It's based in North Carolina. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, you just ruined Steve's fantasy.
Most reality shows are I'm sorry, Steve. A lot of reality shows are staged. They come up with these fake confrontations just to have content, Like, American Pickers, they don't just randomly drive up to a house and find gold. They make phone calls first. But Lizard Lip Towing, it's not real. It's, it's entertaining. I think the most redneck thing on TV was The Tiger King on Netflix.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
And
that's good. I agree.
My last question for you, Jon, is have you ever actually tried farming not high?
Well, I've never even tried farming. Unless you count going to the farmer's market as farming, and I have done that high.
That's by far one of my favorite quotes of yours. I know you probably get the hammy stuff, but if I ever saw you, I'd be like, have you ever tried farming not high? Boring as shit.
Yeah, that's a line from, Ramus. That's my character's name in Harold and Kumar Escape Guantanamo Bay. I grow weed, and thank you. That was fun. I love doing that. It wasn't that hard. I'm really good at playing those characters, and they let me improv a lot. One of my favorite things about that movie, it's a different scene where when you're introduced to my character Ramus, the Harold and Kumar guys, they're out there in the farm, or they're out in the field petting a deer, and all of a sudden you see the deer's head explode, and it's because I shot it in the head. But they let me improv a lot of dialogue after that. So there's a scene where I stab the deer with a knife after I shoot it, and I lick the blood off the knife, and I go, born in 2004. That's a good year for deer. And, like it's a fine wine, and they kept that in the film. So I was very proud of that moment. They just let me improv it, and then they kept it in, So Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man.
Well, I just want to tell you. Go ahead. You got one last thing, Brett?
Oh, no, did you improv the sun's going down?
Yeah.
You just looked up. You're like,
well, I improv this thing. I don't even know what I was doing. The line was, "Sun's going down. Y'all need a place to stay. Are you hungry?" But I improv the whole, like, I'm like I'm making a sundial out of my arm or something.
Yeah, you're estimating the angle. Yeah.
Yeah, sun's going down. We'll watch it. Can't do that. No doubt. I just want to thank you, Jon, for coming on the Yeah Come On show. It's been an absolute pleasure. And to your followers, I would tell anybody that follows me how to follow Jon, known for his albums Gingerbread Man, Metro Jethro, and Ginger Payne. Follow him on Twitter, too, at Jon Reep, and that's spelled Jon, people. Jon. He left out the H. Mom and Daddy left out the H.
Yeah.
Not your fault. But in closing, I just want to thank you as a friend and as somebody that's come in the studio many times here in Atlanta. It was great to have you on the Yeah Come On podcast, and I'm all about a little country. Yeah.
Well,
Tell your daddy, thank you very much for doing what he did for your career. And go give your mama a hug, brother.
I will, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for
All right, and give Jody a poke.
Oh, I am.
Later, brother.
See you guys. Thank you.
Later,
Bye-bye.
Tom. Bye later, buddy. Thanks for listening and watching the Yeah Come On show. Special thanks again to our guest today, comedian and actor Jon Reep. And I just want to give a little tease to next week's Yeah Come On show. Again, always dropping Friday at 1 o'clock. Entourage. Did you enjoy it? Well, we're going to have the guest on that inspired the entire show. He's been in 50 films, and he'll be on the Yeah Come On show next week. Special thanks to OxygenFinancial.com for helping you bring the Yeah Come On show, along with Circle285.com and Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell. I'm Southside Steve, co-hosted by Brett Varney, and the on-again, off-again, Tyler Maynard. It's the Yeah Come On show.